Hello, everyone. My name is Donna. My pronouns are him. I'm facilitating this game for the Open Hearth gaming community. Today, we are playing our first session of Samuel Mew's Capitalites. Fingers crossed, I'm pronouncing that right. We had a discussion beforehand about that. Capitalites is an Asian urban role playing game about young people struggling to figure out who the hell they are. And today we are using the series pitch of the Emotionally Repressed Theatre Club. So we've yet to really create our series Bible or our characters, and you'll have the chance to see us do that. So before we jump into that, let's get a quick intro from the rest of our players.
Yeah, I'll start. Hi, I'm Thomas, pronouns he, him. And yeah, I like role-playing games. My newsletter hit 5,000 subscribers this week, so I'm excited about that. Yeah, that's what I've got going on. Mads.
Thank you. Mads, she, they pronouns, and I really love tabletop role-playing games. I mean, the opportunity to tell stories through characters is something that I really enjoy. Maybe I like watching the characters go through their machinations, but I mean, like, even playing characters is a lot of fun as well. So, glad to be here.
Okay. I guess what we're going to do first is prepare our series Bible. So we're going to talk about tone, theme, content rating, do a quick palette in terms of the things we want to see happen, and so on. And then after that, we're going to jump into our main characters and maybe do a bit of discussing our relationships. Yeah, I think it might be worth reading out the Emotionally Repressed Theatre Club pitch. This series follows a group of artsy-fartsy frenemies in a struggling theatre club as they try their best to put on a show for their audiences. However, the process is never as simple as writing a script, building props, and acting your asses off, as unchecked egos, deeply rooted insecurities, and rage issues snowball into roaring avalanches of emotional violence, and yet the show must still go on. Play the series if you want to tell stories about drama with drama while exploring the relationship between art and the artist, delving into the act of using drama as a way to cope with your emotional issues. Okay. There's some suggested characters, playbooks. Those are just suggestions. If we really want to go with something else, we can probably do that. The list is dilettante, the sensitive man, the queer, the social justice warrior, the fanatic. And suggested themes are ambition, art, friendship, identity, toxic codependency. Okay. So I guess the first thing we probably decide on is our tones. There's three suggestions: comedic, romantic, tragic, and then there's a write your own space. Obviously, if we can write two of our own if we want. Anyone, Mads, do you have any preferences on these tones?
This game is all about things that I like equally. So it's very hard for me to pick. Um, I don't know. I mean, like, do I want to laugh or do I want to cry? I usually like crying myself. So, um, I don't know. Can we have a tragic comedy?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not even sure if I have any like touchstones for those, but I mean, like, for some reason it's either that or becoming really romantic, and for me, it's early in the morning, so I don't know if I can. We'll see.
What do you think, Thomas?
I mean, I like the idea of picking tragic and comic. I think that's more things than we would than we might think. Like, for example, we were talking about Succession before, and Succession is a dark comedy in that sense. Like, you don't laugh out loud too many times, but there's so much stuff going wrong that I think you are feeling a kind of comic pleasure as it happens. So, yeah.
I mean, I guess it's less tragic because I'm not sure these people have any good qualities, right? For there to be a tragedy about it.
Unless we just like, you know, like as our ending line for each episode is, "Oh, what a tragedy," you know, just like say it just that way. Somebody says it like at the end of every episode.
Yeah. Oh
okay,
my God.
so yeah, let's go with those two. Not to say there can't be other tones or there can't be any romance, but this is the series pitch, right? And the show might go in a different direction, whatever. Okay, cool. So then we select at least 2 or 3 themes we'd like to focus on. There was some suggestions I read out in the pre-gen pitch. So I don't know any of those.
Yeah, we don't have to do this, I guess.
Yeah, we can just just write over stuff if we want. There's no like, I think toxic codependency was a definite must, was
it? Yeah. So we're supposed to pick, whereas I feel like we could, they're all going to come
on those,
up.
Though.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, like, how do we want to focus on, like, you know, because I mean, all right, so if we're going to talk about the toxic codependency as a theme, I mean, what I believe that could mean is, you know, like, as we are, you know, doing our roles in whatever show we're deciding on putting on, I mean, like, you know, what if we meld ourselves with the role, in which case then we depend upon each other or our scene partner or whatever to carry us through, and then they don't, and that creates all sorts of drama. Now I'm thinking Black Swan. Oh boy. So hopefully not that bad. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, stuff like that could possibly come up in terms of you know, how meta this could get, in terms of like you're being in a show playing somebody, but we're actually playing a character who's playing in a show. Yeah.
I played that game by the author of Lady Windermere's Fan, right?
Oh man, I want to play that game so bad. Okay.
So you think like maybe a double-edged sword of like ambition and codependency, like you wanna make it, maybe? Is that
maybe not make it, but I mean, like, you know, in terms of just wanting to make sure that the show goes on. So like, is that like ambition, or is that testing friendship, or
I like friendship
identity
as a general theme. Like a theme for the story. I just like friendship, regardless of what others go there. I think it's a good strong theme to have. And, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, test and like friendship and like what it means, like, especially in this kind of like pressure cooker. And, you know, conceivably we could even have identity as part of it, because I mean, again, if some people fall too far into their roles, or like trying to figure out who they are when they're playing said people, I mean, that could be an interesting thing to think about. Just saying.
Is it like we want to explore bleed as a
yes.
kind of a concept? Yeah.
Yes.
In both directions, maybe.
Yeah. Exactly.
Nice. Okay, that's interesting.
Okay. So we go with identity / bleed.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Okay.
To at least, like, you know, kind of like where that focus is.
So I guess it is a it's I guess a Nordic LARP.
Oh no! Oh shit! Oh no!
Which is fine. Okay. So yeah, again, like, if we can review these themes, and there's no reason that we can't go on a bottle episode of ambition or love or whatever it is. Okay, cool. And then we choose a content rating for our series.
TV 14 or TVMA.
Yeah. I feel like the only difference between TV 14 and TVMA is like how like sexual content, I guess. I'm not, mild language versus graphic language is I don't know. I don't know
You
if
know
that's
what? I
like
mean, like,
such a
okay,
big.
so wait a second. When you say mild language, are we talking about like only one of us can say, like,
One
the F
fuck
word?
per episode.
Right, exactly. Well, shit, you used it. God dang it.
No, he said the F word. Like, he didn't use the word. Yeah. I like TV 14. Yeah, because I think that's just what's going to happen anyway.
Though I'm not sure my Irishness would stand up to only being able to curse once every 3 hours. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. And I'm notorious for dropping some F-bombs just cause, so I don't know.
I think that all comes under mild, guys.
Yeah.
When we anything that we would say in a recording.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. And then the last thing we do in this section is the palette. So things we are excited to see, things we might include, and things we will never include. I don't know why that third column is marked green, because that should be red, obviously. So usually what I like to do here is just do a round table and someone adds one thing at a time, and then when we go around the table and no one adds anything, then we're kind of done. Again, like our lines and veils, we can always add more stuff to this as we go in from episode to episode. So, Thomas, do you want to add something to the board?
Yeah. I think one thing I am excited to see is people trying to figure out, just because I brought up this friendship thing, people trying to figure out whether they're actually friends or just people who spend all their time with each other. You know what I mean? That thing of like we go to school together. Is that it? Like, is that so that kind of thing? Or like, I'm just going to put, are we actually friends as a thing I am excited to see. Yeah.
I like to call that friendship by an osmosis.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Mads, how about you? Anything you want to add to the board?
Yeah, since I brought up the whole identity type thing, I want to say, and then, like, hopefully, like, I don't have enough spoons to be histrionic and at 7 a.m. in the morning, but I want to put in something about exploring character and identity. Like, in other words, I mean, like, how far does bleed go? So because I mean, again, it could be, on the mild end of, like, something happened in my day, but then, like, I carry it over to the character. But what if something that the character is experiencing, it's like, bleeds into my life, that kind of thing, that kind of back and forth. So
nice. Interesting.
Or actually, you know what? How far and which direction does bleed go?
Something that maybe we can think about adding, so I'm going to put it in the yellow section, is there's like I'm trying to think of where I've seen it. The only time I've seen it is in like the West Wing, right, where they are preparing for a speech or something like this, and they spend so much time rehearsing, and then you never see the real thing.
Oh yeah.
So because we don't need to, we know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah,
And maybe
yeah,
we
yeah,
just
yeah,
see the reaction afterwards. But like,
yeah.
uh, it's kind of an interesting thing that I've done from time to time in like games which require planning, so you spend all your time planning and then you don't do the actual thing,
Okay.
You just
the
cut to the
reverse of
end.
Blades in the Dark.
Oh no.
Amazing, amazing.
Oh no.
Oh wow.
We spend so much time gaffing, we're not even actually like, seeing the results.
Well, so like you just don't spend time on the results, you do like an engagement role and that covers the whole
Right.
thing, and you say, oh
Yeah.
well, it went fine because we did the planning.
Right.
So yeah, I guess we can play around
Wait,
with it.
wait. You don't even like if it's a mixed result or something like that, you don't even like, show the
You
complications?
just ask complicated questions to see what's going
Oh.
on, right?
Oh shit. Okay.
Um,
No,
No, I
I don't
think
want to
you
play
you
that
definitely you
game.
definitely deal with the fallout, right? Like you get
mhm.
to
Okay.
the planning worked out, and then what would have happened if the planning and you get to that part. Like yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. Um, cool. I guess it's back to me. Uh, hmm. Things we might include. Um, uh, I like this idea of seeing a lot of one area. You know what I mean? Like just like so much of it is in, for example, the theater, right? Like like if we've got a theater, like a large part of the show just happens there, and we have different parts of this theater that we rehearse or whatever, which represents uh, like themes or like emotions, right? So if we're
Mhm.
backstage, that might be where we reveal our inner thoughts,
Mhm.
right? And
Yeah.
if we're
Yeah.
on stage, that's like, and if we're in the seats, that means something. So okay, so this, yeah. So I'm just going to put like lots of theater, uh, uh, lots of thematic theater scenes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've watched some documentaries where they show like for ballets, for instance. I mean, but not only the stuff that like happens on the stage for the rehearsal, but I mean, like we're talking about being with the wardrobe people, being with the shoe people, being with like the people that set up the sets and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, like yeah, you can have some interesting crew moments, like some stage direction moments and all that. I watched too many documentaries, evidently. So yeah.
That's nice. No, I like it. Yeah, that's what I'm going for. Yeah.
Mads, do you want to add anything?
um. Hmm. I don't know how to put this, but I mean, like, I'm gonna start by saying it's like, I don't want to see in red. I don't want to see the malicious lie. Like, I mean, like, like how you said, like, you have people that will lie to protect someone, and you'll have somebody like, little white lie to kind of like just kind of neglect to tell the truth. But I mean, I'm talking about the malicious. Oh, well, just so you know, he said that, he told the director that you did
Nice.
something
Nice. Yeah.
wrong, like you got in jail
Yeah.
last night or something like that, like a deliberate malicious lie to get the other to get the other character in trouble and such. Um, yeah, I don't want to see any of that because that's like, that verges on, or like you didn't see that, you didn't experience that, like gaslighting. Please no. I mean,
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
it'll happen. I know it'll happen in real life, but I really don't want to go that far into real
Sure.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please no. So I'll put that in there.
Um, the idea that was brewing in my mind kind of dovetails with what you said, Thomas, about like matching the the style of scene with the theater location. My thought process was even to go like one level more. Like we never see the main characters outside the theater. Like
Ooh.
they have some lives outside of the theater, but it's only like with side characters or whatever. But like all of our main scenes take place inside the theater, in one place or another in that kind of area. maybe there's like a coffee shop right outside or across the road or whatever. But
Oh, yeah. So basically, it's like we wouldn't interact except with each other,
yeah,
except in the theater. But then if we do go outside of the theater, then it would be usually with like truly outside of the theater, then it would be with a side character or something.
yeah. That
Yeah,
was my
okay.
idea. I don't know whether.
I kind of like that. That's kind
Yeah,
of interesting because it's like it kind of keeps that distance, like to literally say here's the distance between you and the theater with the people that you're with, but then like, once you're in the theater, then you all react or you all respond to each other
yeah.
and interact.
And I'm putting it in yellow because maybe we come up with a really great idea and we want to break that rule.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah. That's cool. That's
I,
cool.
I'm thinking the only scenes that would really like I'd want to set outside the theater is, for example, like when you're interacting with your parents, for example. Like that feels like a very like that's an also like a standard location, right? What does your home life look like?
Yeah.
And us seeing a little bit of that. So if we want to skip that, I'm good with it. But that's the only thing I could think of where I was like, this should happen outside.
Can we establish like age?
Yeah.
Only because it's like, I still interact with my parent. But I mean, you could be any age really, but I mean, I'm just wanting to make sure that we're not in high school and stuff. I don't want to do that.
I mean, I think the vibe of the game is very much kind of 20s.
Cool. Cool.
Sorry, Thomas. My suggestion was like the main characters only interact with the other main characters in the theater, but we can have scenes outside with side characters.
Yes.
So I don't want the whole thing to be a bottle episode.
Yeah. So my thing is actually about age, right? Like when we say 20s, like a lot of these playbooks are like working, right? Like they're not in college or things like. But some of the characters are also feel like they could be like younger. So like when we say 20s, we mean sort of like mid 20s, like almost, right? Like we mean like they're not super young.
Okay. So that was my second go. So yeah, Thomas, are we back around to you?
Yeah, I think I don't have anything else that's actually okay. This doesn't have to fit in here. It might be a later part, but I would like for the play to be like a real play. Like, it's like they're doing like, if not Romeo and Juliet, they're doing West Side Story, right? Like, they're doing something that you can point at and be like, that's the thing. And I can then do my codependency thing. Like when I'm trying to hit a theme, I can go to, like, I have some sense of what the play is, right? So I can kind of draw on that. Like, like Romeo and Juliet has these two families and they're fighting. So I go like, okay, it has this like romance at the heart of it, so I can use that. So just give me something to use with regard to the play that we're doing. So a real play might be good. Like,
I kind of want to kind of tweak that a little bit, if you don't mind. I'm just thinking, because this is what I do when I play Paranormal Incorporated's Phantom of the Opera, right? It's like I usually take a movie that we know, and then say this is the musical or the stage production of said movie. Like we've done that with or it's not like somebody changed over like Mamma Mia to Papa Poppy or something like that, or like like I came up with like like the stage version of Red with the spies. I mean with the old assassins and stuff, something like that. So I mean like if we wanted to, conceivably that could be an option.
That's nice. Yeah.
But I guess the point is that we're going to have like a backdrop that we're all pretty familiar with, so that we can really plug into those relationships.
Right.
Yeah. Something to lean on. Yeah.
Yes. Oh no, absolutely. I like that. I like that a lot. I just have to figure out like
what. I guess if we're going to start in like maybe casting or something like that, then we've got some time to think about what that play/movie is going to be.
So, makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, I'd be
Episode
happy
one
with Romeo and Juliet.
could be deciding the play. Like
the fractious pitch for what our production is going to be, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There's our first scene there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think we have the players for that. I mean, I think we have the people that can really bring out this. I mean, like, hinting, like that other theme, whatever.
Mads, do you have anything else to add in the palette?
Nothing that I can think of at the moment. That usually comes out in play. It's like, I don't know if I like that or whatever. I mean, or like this would be really cool to delve into more. So nothing at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I like our palette. I think we got plenty of what I like to call ammunition here to throw at people. Yeah, I can't think of anything else that we definitely should be including or not here.
Yeah, I'm done as well. So we can
okay,
start.
Cool.
So
our next stage is the city. So I don't know whether we want to name our city, choose a real place, or just be very vague about what city we're based in. Does anyone have any preferences?
Is there an Asian city that everyone here has some familiarity with? Because that's the tricky part, right?
Yeah.
Something that we can all work with.
I mean, familiarity is a is a strong term, but I've seen in lots of movies, or big enough that it could include all things, like a Singapore or something like that.
Yeah. I get that. But the thing is, even Singapore is like it's not a blank canvas. You know what I mean? Like, it's very much not like it can include all things for sure, but like it definitely includes something.
It has a very specific vibe.
Yeah. And I mean, I've watched a lot of J vloggers like for Tokyo and stuff, and like there's so much differences and things in Tokyo, but I can't say that I have any like real familiarity with like each of the vibes and such. So
yeah, I mean, we could build the aspects of our city up, and then we might say, oh well, that definitely sounds like, or that sounds more like, or
okay,
that's
rather than feel constrained by our city choice, we just play the city we want, and then it might align with the real place.
Create it from the perspective of what sort of stories you wish to tell together.
Yeah. And we've already decided that we're doing just a theater. So in some sense, the city is like, I wonder how much it'll affect us. But yeah.
And like, for the coffee shop that like we would possibly hang out in or like, grab some needed caffeine, that could just as easily be a Starbucks. Anywhere. Anywhere. So what do the youth in our city value the most? Money.
Yeah. I mean, I love.
Everybody's got a side hustle. I mean, even if they have like the most generic job possible, they have a side hustle. A podcast or a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Like, what's your numbers look like? I mean, how monetized are you? Don't do that because you're going to get demonetized and all that kind of stuff.
So I put in money, but in brackets, side hustle, right?
Yeah.
Side
hustle.
The youth and city value the most. Yeah, I'm also thinking it has to come back to this weird theater club.
Like, is this value are we going to be like countercultural and like specifically trying to rebel against this, or does this seep in no matter how hard we try, kind of? Do you think like popularity / status is somewhere to go for? You know, like
generally it's easy to go. I think like money and status are like easy choices.
But
when we say
maybe
status,
like
though,
culturally, right? We want to do something significant, you know.
I mean, popularity I get in terms of like, you know, when people are thinking about numbers because of social media or whatever platforms they have. But I mean, like when you talk about status, what are you talking about?
You're talking about how like every part of your identity can either give you status or like take away from it, right? Like you can be rich, that gives you status. If you're poor, that takes away from it. Like you can, you can be into certain things, like you can be into K-pop and that could give you status or take it away. Like you could be in, so it's like that kind of thing of like being status anxious is like a thing that I understand, this thing about like, like how are people ranking me right now, and like how does this
okay. So that's a little different, I guess.
I mean, I like it because it's like it's a real driving force that kind of goes beyond what you really might want to do, right?
So basically, like, so are we thinking, and this is again just for this particular circumstance, are we thinking that popularity has to do more with qualitative in terms of like, I have so many friends and contacts, and status is more of the numbers, like I have this much ranking, I have this many watchers, listeners, whatever? Is that what we're thinking?
I mean, I think status for me goes outside of your immediate social circle, right? So
okay, got it.
If someone just sees you and they don't know who you are, they're going to make certain judgments about you depending on what you're doing or what clothes you're wearing or
got it.
Who you're hanging out with, right? It's
true. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right.
So for example, if we chose status, right? Like then I would say that like if you choose money, then it's like if you have money, like that's what we're worried about, having money, not having. If you choose status, it's like what is the job you're doing that's giving you money? Like now that matters, right? Like it's like you could be making $1 million, but you're doing the wrong kind of thing to do it. Like even if say that you would like depending on the city, like like working, depending on how countercultural this group is, like working, like like a bank. Working at a bank could either give you status or take it away. Right? Like which one is it? Like that kind of thing. Like
got it.
Yeah.
It's like you work for the bank. It's like,
you
work for the bank. Yeah, I get it. The two different ways of thinking about it.
It's like, you work for the bank. That must be like you must be doing well.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So are we leaning towards status for our second value here?
Yeah.
How they're seen.
Social cash.
Yeah. Basically, I think how this will translate into play is like people are going to be slightly status conscious, but also judgmental, right? It suggests a certain amount of judgment from either the side characters or the main characters, right? Like
sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next question here is, what is the older generation like? There's a whole laundry list of terrible things.
All of them.
Yeah.
I know. I guess if we check our safety, we have a couple here that are kind of out of bounds.
Yeah.
Okay. Closed-minded could be one, because that implies a whole bunch of different things, right? I mean, it's like, closed-minded to the idea that, oh, you're doing that for a job. That's the first one that comes to mind, for sure.
Yeah.
So closed-minded could definitely be one of those.
Yeah.
Because again, I mean, like, side hustle is not necessarily like, what people would have expected. It's like, why don't you go into medicine, or why don't you become a
Yeah.
lawyer?
Yeah.
No, the first one was the
Yeah.
lawyer.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
like, no, I don't want to be a lawyer. Thanks. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm bringing my own shit into this.
I mean, I think that's part of the game. So how much ever you're comfortable bringing,
Yeah. Lawyer or doctor. So.
Okay. How about this? Like, this is a different thing than we're going here, because in some ways, I think you could pick the same thing, and that could be interesting. Like, if you pick closed-minded here, and we think of it in a job sense, those jobs also tend to pay you more, so they're also very money conscious. That's kind of implied there.
Mm-hmm.
But it could be cool to pick something that the youth are definitely not, and maybe kind of identify specifically against. So how about something like bitter or something like that?
Ooh.
It's just like,
Bitter in terms of jealous, or like regretful that they didn't do this or they couldn't do this?
Maybe.
Is this like begrudgery, and also like in our day, that
right,
dot
right.
dot dot,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and that works well for me. So I guess bitter. Okay, and I put in our day as our kind of prompt to remind us of what we were thinking when we decided that.
I feel like there's a move in some game that says it's like, in my day.
Uphill both ways to school, walking in bare feet.
Yes. I walked 5 miles to school. This is nothing for 7 blocks is nothing for you.
Yeah. Okay. So the next prompt is create at least 2 or 3 institutions or locations significant to your main characters.
The theater. That's one.
Yeah.
So
the theater.
Yeah.
But is it an actual theater?
Yeah, I don't know. Is it an actual theater, or is it in some kind of community hall or something like that?
Yeah. I think do we want something that is like expressly designed to be a theater, or do we want something that's expressly not? Like, both are interesting, right? Like, if you say that, oh, this is a warehouse that is now a theater, or are we going like, this is a state of the art, like, actual theater? Like, that could also be cool.
Yeah. It depends on how much you want to explore the idea of different scenes in different places, like the wardrobe department and the set design, corrals and stuff.
I think it's kind of interesting in one way to say, like, here we're struggling against the venue. It's not what we need. But on the other hand, it might just be easier for us as players to think of scenes we can have in a traditional theater, with all of the things just there.
To do that, right? Because I mean, like, that could be a game in itself of like, like, how do you create this weird space to become the theater that you bring in folks? You know what I mean? So in which case, it's like it's easier to just do a theater, because then you got to sell the tickets to get people in the seats, however many seats that is, and da-da-da-da-da. So, I mean, that could be easier. So, if you just put down plain theater, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll come up with a name for it. Another stage.
Coffee shop.
Coffee shop?
Yes, because that's where we are.
Coffee shop sounds good.
We're going to hang.
And a coffee shop, if this is a real theater, there could be a coffee shop in the theater. Like, that's possible.
Absolutely.
Right? Like,
Well, they got to have some place for intermission, if we're going to
Will there be like a bar upstairs or something like that?
It could be.
Right, coffee shop, bar, whatever. So, I mean, like, and if you want to include the bar, I mean, like, the bar could be inside or outside.
I think the theater is a location, and when we get to play, we can have scenes in any of like half a dozen different places inside the theater. And then maybe the coffee shop is somewhere we go to get out of the theater,
Yes,
absolutely. Even if it's only around the corner or across the road or whatever.
I like the across the road thing. It's like, you're gonna go across the road? Yeah. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Do we want a bar? I mean, like, we could have a bar or a restaurant. I don't know. Too much food.
I
yeah.
mean, I,
Um,
I I think we should pick either bar or coffee shop, because again, it's serving a certain purpose, right? It's the thematically in my head, they're very similar things. Yeah.
Okay.
In the
I
sense
prefer
of like,
coffee shop.
yeah, then let's just do that. Like, I think
okay.
that's okay. Yeah.
Any third location or institution that um, we wanna lean into, or
You were mentioning like visiting family and such earlier, Thomas. Did you want like the particular apartment complex or neighborhood that we would visit and such, to have
Yeah,
even
yeah,
further away to kind of like, show the contrast between this is theater life and this is real life. I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
Did you want to do that?
Yeah, no, I think that's just more a broad thing, which is that, what are the home lives of these characters like?
Mm.
Uh, you know, so yeah, I think I'm happy with just these two.
okay, yeah,
Okay.
okay, and uh,
Oh God.
name at least one or two actual celebrities in your city.
Jesus.
I guess these are types of celebrities. We don't have to name them until we
Okay.
like put the side character on the table. But
Yeah. Or maybe like maybe they're performing, like they're coming back for a home show or whatever.
yeah,
Something.
Nice. Yeah.
So is that like someone who got famous overseas and came back home? Maybe like a slumming
Okay. Yeah.
slumming
Oh
at
my
Hollywood star or something
God.
like that.
Sure.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Famous actor, I guess we would put down.
Yeah.
Uh,
Famous actor doesn't live here anymore.
Yeah.
okay. And a second one. We don't have to have a second one, but it might be.
Yeah, I like actor also because there's a whole theater club thing, right? They might actually,
Mhm.
you might be able to do something with that. I'm not really sure what else we'll be able to really use. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, would anybody really be of interest to us? Maybe possibly a YouTube celebrity, but I mean, like, again, that's kind of like.
Well, I guess so. The prompt is name at least one or two actual celebrities in your city. So they might be like they wouldn't be appearing in every episode, right? They might
Right.
be
Yeah.
just a cameo at one point,
Yeah.
or someone we talk about.
Yeah.
Not necessarily kind of on-screen main characters or side characters.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like, is there
Maybe it has
someone we
something to
think
do
we
with our
could talk
side
about
hustle.
over coffee
Yeah.
who's kind of got nothing to do with our world in some ways, but we just like talking about celebrities?
Or maybe even like something like it kind of brings home that particular episode's theme. Like we talk about them or they did something to be like, okay, this is. It's like I was thinking about that the other today, and I can't believe that happened. Or it's like I was thinking about how that kind of applies to what we're doing. That sort of thing. So. I mean,
Okay. Here's a pitch, which is that so we have on one side this famous actor who has gone on to do stuff outside and has come back. What if their not so famous co-star who stayed here and never made that switch, something like that, like some kind of thing there, that they're like low famous here but not anywhere else, potentially.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And people are speculating, right? Like are they actually friends? Are they going to meet? Like people like to talk about.
Oh man.
But all those movies where they were like such good friends, like was that real? Like.
Yeah, so it's I guess it's toxic codependency team coming up, right? It's feeding
Yeah,
into
yeah, yeah.
everything we talked about before.
That's what I'm angling towards.
Yeah.
Yeah. um,
It's like, why are they back in town?
Yeah.
Hmm.
You see?
Our little gossip mill, and then like, we do something like, possibly on a
Yeah.
smaller scale. That's great. I love
Great.
it.
Awesome. And I'm just looking at the time. I think we can probably wrap up this section and then take a break.
Yeah.
So the last thing we do here is create at least 2 or 3 currently fashionable or trending things in our city.
Oh man.
Okay, yeah, these prompts are good. I think with the whole side hustle thing, like
Mhm.
we are getting into that territory of like, like it's written here as inspiration porn, but you know what I mean? Like this whole like productivity thing, like this kind of like grind
Yes.
culture, hustle culture kind of stuff. So maybe hustle culture can be one of those things that we put down. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You too can be, like with your iPhone and can do this like, in 7 days.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you're not going to do it now, like, what are your 20s for? Like, like that's the thing.
I
You
fall
can
for
work
that
2
so
jobs.
much. I'm so terrible. It's like I fall for that. It's like, I don't know. I'm doing too many things.
So instead of inspiration porn, I guess it's success / productivity porn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I like it. I think it might be interesting to go with the kind of really into overseas social justice movements, but ignoring problems in your own country in terms of like not wanting, I guess it's not wanted to challenge the older generation's view of the world, right? Because we know from experience we can't fix that. So let's dream about fixing somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
See, yeah, that's the thing that it's a idea I totally relate to, but again, I find it hard to think about what those things will be if we don't get specific about where to some extent.
Okay.
And also like, what overseas social movements are we referring to?
I guess it might be difficult to fit into.
Absurd local politics.
Yeah. Again,
Like,
I'm
what
not
if one
sure
of our
what
if one of our relatives is running for mayor or something weird like that?
Okay.
Or like some kind of like public office, and so maybe that's kind of like bleeding into the whole thing, because it's like, they want money for campaigning, they want, somebody to help with the with answering calls and stuff. I don't know. That's a possibility. I'm not saying we should.
Okay.
But
yeah. What if it's the theater going to be shut down? I know this is the way tropey. I know I went there because when you say local politics, I'm like, how is it? Like, is it just going to be something we chit chat about, or is it going to be something that affects us? And what if the person who's running is finds
we need
this
to
stuff
rezone
wasteful?
this whole area to be
exactly. I was immediately thinking rezoning. Yes. So absurd local politics affecting the rezoning of our pad.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we happy with those 2? It seems like plenty to keep us busy.
That seems plenty. I mean,
yeah.
Success, productivity, porn is just like, you need to do it all now. Learn this now. Yeah. Okay. I don't know, man. This whole game's about bleed for me. It's like, you're right here. It's great. Okay.
Already started and we haven't even started.
Right, I've started. That's great. No, it's beautiful.
Okay. Let's take a break.
Yep.
How does 10 minutes suit you?
Yeah.
Okay, we're back. At this stage, I guess we can. Sorry, there is also a thematic playlist for our series. But personally, I think I need a lot more time to mull over a playlist.
Yeah.
So maybe this is our homework for the next week. Come up with 2 songs which epitomize our theater club. Okay. So we, I guess, move on to creating our main characters. Um, so, obviously, there's a bunch of playbooks, and there's a couple of suggestions for the series pitch, but I don't think we need to be completely bound in by that. Thomas, do you want to tell us which ones you were thinking of?
Yeah. I had the interesting experience of talking to Sam about this game, because when I first read it, I thought what they were trying to do was to sort of satirize these characters, like kind of paint them as caricatures to some extent, and then they kind of um, convinced me otherwise, that that's not the goal here. The goal is to actually sort of portray realistically a certain kind of person. So yeah, I was thinking about this playbook called The Sensitive Man, which is I mean, definitely in that realm of satire, I think a little bit. And the other one I was thinking of after our series concept is the actual celebrity. Like, I think that's also because we do have this idea of like famous people being kind of involved here. So yeah, I think those are the 2 ones I'm kind of looking at. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Mads, how about you?
Definitely was thinking about the dilettante or the sensitive man for the playbooks I was most interested in. I said like 5 of them were like pretty much me, but those are the 2 that call out the most, and the artist. But I was like, let me see, hold on. Yeah, so the artist would be another one as well, but not sure yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my kind of short list at the start, I was kind of drawn to the hustler and the career woman, but then I think they don't really fit with the series. And then, like, in kind of more a series ballpark, the dilettante or the cynic.
Yeah, I will say the hustler and the career woman 100% fit, except the career woman, like this is the other thing. This is the second thing.
Yeah.
And with the hustler, it's like there has to be an agenda to it. Right? Like it has to be like a thing that they're getting out of it. Like
yeah. And also, given that we are maybe veering a little bit away from the outright manipulation, the hustler maybe is straddling that line a little bit. So.
Okay.
I mean, anyway,
I feel like the hustler is also fits a lot of our themes because they're like entrepreneurial podcasting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Very much what we're talking about.
But I guess I mean, if someone really wants to see those in play, I can step up, but otherwise.
Oh no! Sorry. I was just theoretically discussing these things. I didn't mean to try to suggest.
No, that's fair. And I definitely.
I might have convinced myself into doing it.
Okay. Oh my. Okay. All right. So wait, our choices were our thoughts were okay. So I was thinking the artist, the dilettante, and the sensitive man, in that order for me. I don't know about what you guys were thinking in terms of your preference.
Yeah, I think dilettante cynic would probably be my preference order, but you're kind of a coin flip, to be honest.
Okay, I think I'm looking at hustler or actual celebrity, and I might be leaning towards hustler.
Okay.
Nice.
I think I did it. Like, yeah.
You've convinced
Oh my
yourself.
gosh. Oh boy.
The ultimate hustle move. You played yourself.
Oh my god.
Okay. So Mads, are you leaning towards
I'm leaning towards the
artist?
artist.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go for the artist.
I guess can we cope with a hustler and a cynic at the same time?
Oh man, yeah, someone needs to believe.
Okay,
someone needs to believe. I don't know. I
No.
could be all that for.
I'm happy to switch the sensitive man if you want to stay with the cynic, Donna.
No, I'll go with dilettante because also it was on Mads' list, so it's definitely something we seem to want to have. So yeah, I will pick dilettante.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, there's a blurb in the character keeper. There's like a full, I won't even call it a blurb, kind of an intro into the playbooks in the full PDF. But it's just like more flavor. I think the intro text kind of gives you the feel for it. So I guess what we have is a bunch of questions. I think we all have just ones with standard 9. A lot of them are very similar, like the last 5 or so the last 4 are same for everyone. What are my parents like? Although there's different answers for these. At best I am, at worst I am, but I'm always good at. And then the first 5 are more distinct for the playbook you've chosen. Obviously, I think everyone has secret insecurities, or most people have some secret insecurities. So yeah, I think I don't know whether we just want to run at them ourselves and then come back to discuss them or introduce them in detail afterwards. Like that option makes a bit more sense to me.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so I'll mute myself, and if you're watching this video, fast forward 5 minutes or something. I don't know.
I'm done.
I think I'm done too.
Almost there.
I mean, I probably could build a hell of a lot more. I can give you a video essay, but I don't think we want that.
You're done, Donna?
Yeah, just finished. I
Okay.
obviously have to think of a name.
Oh, right. I haven't done that
Oh,
either.
that's the worst. Yeah, got it. Oops. Um,
The true challenge of
the true
character creation,
challenge.
a name and an
Yeah.
image. Yeah.
Oh, the
Okay.
image I'll come
Yeah.
up with later, but I mean, like, I'm like, oh, name.
think we're all done-ish.
Yeah.
Do you want to run through a round of introductions?
Yeah. I mean, I really feel like this game, some parts of character creation do feel like the game itself. Like you just tick the boxes and you go like, oh, that was good. I can stop playing now. Like that was nice. Yeah.
It's not quite Traveler, but it's
Yeah. Cool. So I can start. So I am playing, the Hustler. His name is Salman Khan, who's also the name of a very famous actor. And so what he does is all his online stuff is branded not that Salman Khan.
okay.
Right, like he's like that's his brand or whatever. um yeah, style business casual. Hustles include entrepreneurial podcasting, and I think the option said cryptocurrency investing, and I've just gone with investing because I want him to be slightly less locked into the worst thing in the world.
Yes. I was gonna say, I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah. So what does he want? He wants to prove his haters wrong. And what that means for me is that I think his podcast has become successful enough that he has a series of very active haters online who keep saying things like, you don't actually run your own company though, you don't actually do any of the things that you say. And he's just at some point been like, I need to kind of do something to shake that reputation. Uh, his role models, and his secret insecurities, I've gone, everyone always seems to be against me one way or the other. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. His role models, I've gone Steve Jobs, which does suggest this is now happening 15 years ago rather than today. Like, there is no 25-year-old hustler today who's like Steve Jobs, but 15 years ago, every one of them was. So yeah, I've gone with Steve Jobs. What are my parents like? I have are still disappointed in me and also self-made just like me, which is so suspicious.
Just like
oh
me.
God.
I'm self-made just like me. It's truly like
Who were your first investors? I wonder.
yeah.
Oh
How do
God.
you start investing again? Like, what does
Yeah,
that
yeah.
mean?
Oh.
uh, at my best, I am confident and self-assured. At my worst, I am domineering and condescending, and also someone who bottles up emotions until he explodes. But I'm always good at making money and making connections and ratioing my haters, which is also good. Like I'm that guy. Like I sometimes the best part of my day is the fact that I slam dunked somebody on the internet and everyone agreed I won. Like, yeah.
What does a victory lap look like on Twitter? That's what I want to know.
No, it's when in real, like in like outside Twitter, you keep showing people your phone and you're like,
Yeah.
look at that. I got him.
Nice. Oh my God.
But yeah, that's Salman Khan.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Thomas. Mads.
Yeah, I'll be playing Amihan, Ami Abad. So people know her as Ami. They don't use her full name unless, she really trusts them, I guess. Um, Her vibe is always moving, fidgeting with something. Her art is acting more with her voice and her face. What does she want? She wants to be recognized for her art. Her secret insecurities are being like, I am boring and uncreative, and I'm not as smart as everyone else in the room. She copes by overcommitting and feeling overwhelmed all the time and watching a lot of educational content in order to learn instead of like actually going out and doing the thing. What are her parents like? Immigrants that believe in traditional jobs working for one company for a very, 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 very long time. At best, she is a really good listener and full of great ideas that she wants to implement. And at the worst, she is inert, not knowing where to begin, and completely detached, living in her own world, but always good at improvising on what people say and actually performing. Like when you, like, you know, like if it's the night, she does the thing, you know? So
Nice. Nice.
Noise.
Okay, awesome. So my character, the dilettante, Kami Chung, her distinction is quiet sophistication and a critic of conventional media. She's up to right now a local unpaid creative production, that's this theater group, and looking for a full-time job / internship. Fears are the uncertainty of my dream and LinkedIn. Don't we all? Don't we all?
They keep pestering me with stuff. Come on.
Yeah.
Join premium.
My true calling is to launch a creative agency and to finish my unfinished script. My regrets are my law degree and my inability to stop comparing myself to others. My parents are rich but unwilling to fund my artistic fancies, and in the middle of a messy divorce. At my best, I am brave enough to make life-improving decisions and an incredible, loyal, and genuine friend. At my worst, I am dismissive of the blessings of my life and envious of others' successes. But I'm always good at holding cultural, intellectual talk and being overly critical of myself and others, which is a strange thing to be always good at. But there you go.
Okay.
So it has to be negative somewhere.
Is the dilettante basically somebody who's had a very fancy education and is just trying to figure out their life? Is that the concept of this character?
Yeah, so it's someone who likes to pretend maybe that they're not privileged, but a lot of prestigious events in their life, and trying to live that down.
Okay. Nice.
Maybe wishes they were the artist, but maybe not quite.
Oh, you don't want my life, honey.
So the game tells us we should create relationships. There's no prompts, no section on the character sheet for it at all. But I guess it's very loosey goosey.
Okay.
Do you have anything jumping out at us as things we would like to see, or kind of established relationships we have between each other?
Podcasting. Who do you interview?
I'm imagining I think sometimes we have guests on, but I think it's also sometimes just me and another person just giving our advice ourselves.
Oh, wow. Okay. Got it. So is that a side character?
Wait a minute, two men talking? Is that the podcast vision?
No.
It's cutting edge.
Oh man. Oh shit.
I guess you definitely are living 15 years ago, right?
Oh my god, right? Before everybody had a podcast.
Oh my god. Yeah. If it was today, it'd be 7 people. It'd be 7 men. Like that would be the difference. That's it's just the
Yeah.
number of men in the room.
Do you, Thomas? Do you think maybe that Cammie's parents are, or one of them is like an investor with you?
Oh
Do you think that
Oh.
shit!
works?
Wow.
Okay, so then I'll pitch us up one step and say that like cap like we should be like cousins or something like, in the sense it's not like in the sense like your like mom or dad is like my uncle or aunt, like it's
Okay.
like that
Yeah.
kind of thing. It's like, it's not some stranger who's invested in me. It's just like, I self-made, like it's that thing. Like it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, oh my God, how much conflict is that? It's like, they're funding your business, or they
yeah.
funded, like, they put in a seed fund for you, but then didn't do anything for Cammy. Oh shit.
Oh,
Well,
oh.
maybe someone is actually investing my trust fund or something like that. You know.
That
Oh,
sounds worse. You said
Yeah.
it
that
like
Yeah.
sounds
maybe
so
you were
much
going to make it
worse.
better. Like,
Oh
No.
my
No. No. Sorry, I
God.
was
like you're
going.
gonna.
This would be better for the drama, right?
Right, for the drama.
Oh my
Are we sure we're
god.
not doing Succession? And I know
Yeah,
nothing about the show, but I know that.
yeah. Mm,
So, do you think?
cool.
I mean, did we like do theater when we were younger or something like that? Just want to maybe connect it with um, our theater club.
I feel like this had to have been like an ongoing concern, right? Because I mean, it can't just be a theater club that I mean, unless it is where it was founded by us. More like this has been a community theater concern that's been going on for years, and we happen to be part of it in some way, shape, or form. Um, but then now we are in the era where, because of rezoning, that the theater is in danger. So our episodes cover that period of like just before, like, the theater possibly will go under and such. Um,
Yeah. I think for Salman and Ami, what if hmm, hmm, hmm.
but you're a podcaster, so it's kind of like you're sort of doing something that I would do. Like, I do voice stuff, so I feel like, maybe there's that sense of like, we played around with it when we were younger, like, or maybe in college, and then like, you're the one who actually did something with it. Um,
Okay. Okay.
uh,
Cool.
so I
Yeah.
mean, like,
Okay.
Ami remained in the theater, and like, to do this sort of thing, like to try to stay in the real world instead of being like distant and going on going on podcasting, um, that kind of
Okay.
thing. Mhm.
Um what if you were my initial co-host and then uh like we split, like
Yeah,
in some sense? Like what if we
yeah.
used to, yeah.
Maybe you thought I was just like too out there because I was like, very very artistic and very,
Yeah.
just very for you flighty, like kind of like ooh, like ethereal kind of thing.
Yeah.
So emotional, or whatever.
Okay, so our relationship is you were too emotional to be my co-host. Like that's what I'm
Right,
gonna write
for
down.
what you do, for what your topic is, it's like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, okay. So I'm getting the sense that maybe we all basically went to college at the same time and
Yeah.
kind of know each other from there as well. I mean, whatever. Um,
Do you think there's a specific relationship you want to aim for between Cami and Ami, or
That's so funny.
yeah,
Yes, I do. I do. Um, I think that, I mean, you had the law degree. What the hell did I have a law degree in? Um, I think
Hmm.
I mean, you must have done, you squeezed in, like college itself. I think you squeezed in, like, some kind of creative courses where you were hanging with me, and maybe we were roommates. I don't know. Like, you want to say we were roommates, and
Yeah.
then you were envious of my ability to just do my thing, but yet, like, you had to do the law thing. You had to,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think we were roommates.
I mean, I would say in that case, my parents probably blame you for me going in this flight of fancy, right? Of this
Yeah,
artistic
probably.
thing, right?
Yeah, they
Amazing.
don't like me very much or
You
whatever.
know,
Yeah.
they had friends in this big legal firm that were all ready for me to start, but here I am instead.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Uh,
Okay, awesome.
I cannot believe that your parents put your trust money into like some investment firm.
I mean,
Yeah.
you hustled them good, right?
oh my
Yeah.
God.
They were like, yeah.
Plus, you can't trust those investment banks, right? They could go belly up at any time.
Oh wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, I
You can't.
probably was when we were co-hosting together, I was like probably trying to always like add like some sort of emotional spin to it. It's like, well, what about the people that you are investing for? I mean, like, what about the
Yeah.
the folks? Like, how is it affecting their lives? I mean, not just
Yeah.
dispensing advice, but I mean, like, I mean, you wanted me on because it's like, I maybe taught you a few tricks with the mic, or maybe it's like, you thought the sound of my voice, was
Yeah.
was pretty cool. But I mean, again, I was like trying to give you ideas for, hey, I mean, like, well, like, how does this affect, Joe Schmo, like, that's trying to have, two kids and the dog, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, like, how does this work,
Yeah.
And you were like, mm-mm.
Yeah. Yeah. You were trying to be thoughtful, and I was like, I don't think that's the brand. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
no. I mean, we talk. I mean, like, now that we're not co-hosts, it's a little bit easier to talk, but I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
okay, all right. I get it. You got your own thing that you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, it was probably messy, like when we stopped being co-hosts or whatever. Like, yeah,
hmm
I'm sure. Yeah.
I mean, did we feel like do we feel that any of these characters like had some sort of like possible romantic relationship or any kind of like feelings beyond friendship, or are we just going to delve into the friendship part? I'm perfectly happy with either. That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, probably not the cousins, but
No, well, right, right. But I mean, yeah. Like
yeah.
either Cammy or Sal like having anything
Yeah.
with Ami.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't mind if you think they were exes, that could be fun. Like, yeah.
I mean, that's a
Um,
messy podcast slash relationship breakup,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
know. Well, I mean, yeah, because again, she's she's already like thinking like, like what about the concern for the people that you're investing for? I mean, like it's like these are people taking your advice, this sort of thing. So
Yeah.
we'll have to play it out and see what happens. Like if
Yeah.
there's any of that in there still, like if there's any
Yeah.
kind of like couple like exes banter or what have you.
Energy. Yeah.
Yeah, energy, right? For sure.
Okay, awesome. So I think that is that. Um, I don't think we need to create side characters immediately, but it might be something to mull over. The game suggests that we kind of take the unused playbooks as the kind of core
Yeah.
idea of the character. I know I did that in Molotov College to great effect. Take the unused playbooks as the major NPCs.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
So there's a bunch of spots in the side characters tab that we can fill in details on. Again, if someone has a burning idea that they definitely think needs to be in there, then yeah, we can put that in. Okay, the one thing that we do like before we kind of start start an individual episode is to ask a piercing question of another main character. It's maybe it's just drama fuel, or maybe it gives us a bit of an insight into exactly what our deal is.
Mm.
So yeah, each player may pose a piercing question to another main character, to which they must answer honestly. You may choose whether or not your character actually knows this information or kept in the dark about it. So yeah, I guess it's good drama fuel. There is a list of piercing questions sorry, I have it in two places. I pasted it in the series section, and then it's also in the player guide. So yeah, Thomas, do you have any burning piercing questions that you feel you have to ask one of
Yeah.
these?
Man. Okay. Why am I not who I think or say I am?
Okay, so the way it's framed is you should be asking a piercing question of another main character, not
Oh, okay.
yourself.
It's like somebody else. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay. Oh, that's confusing. Okay, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You pose a piercing question to another main character. How have I? Okay, cool. So it is about me, but I just picked somebody who's answering it. Yeah, yeah, cool, cool. So yeah, yeah, Mads, do you want to take why am I not who I think or say I am?
Okay, so I'm looking at what you put down for your worst. Someone who bottles up emotions until he explodes. I think Ami remembers a time when you did, if we're gonna go with the idea that maybe we were like kind of romantically linked at one point before like things went awry. I think I'm just spitballing here. I think Ami knew you at a time when she allowed you to call her Amihan, like full out, and you didn't used to bottle up your emotions. You were someone who was fine with, you know, not wearing your heart on your sleeve, but you would actually talk about it. Like, I'm feeling this way. I think I'm maybe you were the sensitive man at one point, and then now, because of like what you're doing for your hustle and for whatever, you've turned into the hustler. You've bottled up your emotions, and then it comes out in all sorts of wrong ways. And so it's like, you think you are this now, but Ami remembers when you weren't. Like when you were actually able to connect.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Maz, you have a question, a piercing question to ask?
Yes. Cam, why are you jealous of what I have?
I think I've seen you follow your dream and be successful in that. Whether or not Ami is really successful in that is not for me to see. But yeah, I think I'm totally jealous or envious of that fact. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I think I will ask a question of Salman. And this could be very dangerous, so
Oh
we might
dear.
have to decide whether how much of this I know or whatever. Who am I to you, really?
Ooh. Oh, that's a
Ooh.
good question. Who am I to you, really? Hmm. Wow. Okay. Okay. I think this is going to be very mean, I think. And I think that's what you're setting up here, right, Donna?
Of course.
Okay. I think like family does matter to Salman, right? Like he's like lives in a culture where being family means something. But there is family who can be useful to you, and then family who are losers. And I think Cami is in the your family, but you're a loser. Like, I'm never going to. Yeah, I think that's the tough spot.
Have you said this in some way to her yet?
I think I've got to be completely unaware of this.
So. I
Wow,
do not think this is something you articulate, but you can.
Yeah.
I think, right, rule number one, you don't piss off your investors so they take their money out, right?
Right. Although that could be one hell of a
that's a reveal to be made.
Yeah,
right?
that's a reveal, especially if Sal can't keep his disdain much longer and.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yay!
Yeah.
Yay wishes.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. God damn it!
Well, you brought it up.
I know. Yeah. Okay, that's fantastic.
That's hilarious.
Let's take a quick break. Maybe 6 minutes, 7 minutes.
Sure.
That works. Yeah. And then we'll see. Maybe we can start the ball rolling when we get back.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Cool.
Awesome.
See you back then. Okay. So for our first short episode, I hesitate to call it a pilot. We should maybe come up with a plot summary, so an A plot and a B plot. to get us started, maybe we'll go over, maybe we'll tie them up neatly, or neatly-ish. I mean, I have an idea of something that I would like to see, but Thomas, do you have anything on your mind for a plot summary?
The series playset thing, the pre-gen thing, does have a suggestion that we start with our normal lives or whatever, and kind of what's an ordinary day sort of thing.
Yeah,
and given that we have a little time, that sort of fits. Like, I wouldn't do something super dramatic, though I would like to see a scene with two characters in it and not just one character at a time. So I was thinking potentially, I know how to get Salman and Cammy in the same room, which is that it's a family occasion, right? And that will work. But yeah, so that is my pitch.
So
I totally want to see that scene. Absolutely.
So yeah, I guess that is a good place to start. Maybe like a big birthday or something like this. But I guess we will see the two of us in a family setting.
Yeah. Yeah, and just to clarify, I've written that your mother is my mother's sister. So like that's the connection. Okay.
Here in Ireland, cousins are just cousins. You know, we don't tend to have this hierarchy of mother side, father
yeah,
side.
Yeah. I was just clarifying so that we know, like, you know.
Although the connections can be quite broad. So like, I know and used to work with my third cousin, you know.
Okay, that's a different thing when you're like, you know.
Okay. Miles, do you have any plot that you want to see? Maybe taking a leaf out of those behind the curtains kind of opening scenes.
Maybe it's like, as a small B plot, like, for the quick opener. It's like, you see Ami and maybe she's dating one of your family.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
Because that's why she's there at the family gathering, at the Who's a
Nice.
Winkus's birthday party, like whomever's it is.
Because
I'm dating one of your cousins or something. I mean, you know.
Nice, yeah. I mean, why go distant, right? What
one
if
of our brothers or siblings?
So who's got a sibling? Oh, because it's bad either way, right?
How messy do you want it to be, or what kind of
my college roommate versus my former like my ex. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I think college roommate is way it's way more reasonable than than just dating the other brother or whatever. I think that's hilarious.
My question is, is this going to be like a trope of like Ami's succession of shitty relationships that are all like stepping on other people's toes, or is this just like a one-off that is kind of awkward?
I think, well, I mean, we could make it where it's like, like maybe Ami's got a history of like they're not great. I don't know how like humorous we want to make that particular part, because I mean, like, it's just like there's just something about them, right? I mean, like maybe that's a tagline. It's like there's just something about them. And if they're, or we can just make it a straight like awkward, because it's like, oh, she's dating my brother or whatever, or sister. I don't care. It's like whichever.
So,
I'm good with either.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. Depending how awkward we want to make this for Salman, right?
yeah. So yeah, I think if you're okay with it, your brother or sister or whatever, like, makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
And if it's your mom's birthday, I think that just gets like hits everything, and we just
Oh wow.
and,
Yeah.
And my question to you is also: is your dad here? Is he showing up? You've got they're currently going through a
divorcing,
divorce,
right? So
they're divorcing. Like you've got the present
Oh,
continuous
shit.
tense on that. Like
maybe it's like it's someone else's birthday and they kind of have to be there regardless, just because it's not final yet. So expectations are, and that just makes it even more awkward, right?
Well, then it should be like
Yeah.
the matriarch or patriarch of the thing, right? So it's not
Maybe a
necessarily
grandmother, yeah.
yes, it's got to be a grandmother or a grandfather, like whomever you think would
Nice.
be, because everybody's got to go to Lolo or Lola's birthday or whatever, whatever
Yeah.
the thing is.
Awesome. So so your dad is showing up for his father-in-law or mother-in-law's birthday. Yeah. I like that.
Okay.
Awesome. Spectacular.
Spectacular. Like a car crash. Mads,
Yeah.
do you think it would make sense for Cammy's brother to be like the sensitive man?
Oh, that would be great. Yeah.
God.
Awesome. And that plays into like having a major NPC.
Yeah. Do we have a name?
Give me a second.
This would be your brother as well, Donna. So why don't you?
Yeah.
Why don't you also?
Okay, well, you're named Camilla.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like, I don't know. What's a good... Oh, wait, older brother? Oh, well. Oh my God, we're going to get into older brother, younger brother crap. Yeah, because we were roommates. So, yeah, older brother. Definitely older brother.
What about Charlie? Charlie Chung.
Charlie, yeah, okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
And I think he's got to be doing something sensible with his life, as in like that our parents approve of. Lawyer or doctor? That's the question, right?
Doctor. I'm familiar with doctor.
Oh, okay. If doctor is good because he can be like helping people and stuff. Yeah. But what if it's like a...
And what is his passion? The local theater community.
Yeah, so he's around. Okay.
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
So cool. He's around for sure.
Okay.
so I can't get it out of my head that he's an anesthetist, like for some reason.
Oh, perfect. They make some big ass money, I'm telling you. Anesthesiologists and stuff. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So we have enough there. So I mean, are we imagining that this is like a little bit out of the city proper, like this estate house, or do we think it's like a a penthouse apartment?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I like luxury apartment.
Yeah,
with a view.
Definitely.
Okay. So,
multi-storied.
Multi-storied, yeah.
Multi-storied luxury apartment. Thank you very much.
Do you play?
And I guess the question, like, this is going to be one of the assets that is divided in the divorce, right? So maybe it's going to be sold, or maybe one of them is going to keep it. We don't know yet. One of the reasons it's so
Oh,
messy, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I think, I think
I'd,
there'll
I'd be
be
I'd be
some.
looking for his opening scene because there is a
Yeah,
nice
yeah.
process.
Um,
So it says decide which characters are going to be involved, decide where the scene's taking place, declare what your characters want to achieve and what they might be feeling. So yeah, is there something that any of your characters want to achieve or might be feeling at this awkward family birthday?
I mean, the only awkwardness for Cami is the fact that her parents are getting divorced, and she'd probably rather not be here for the messiness. But like, I am
Yeah.
unaware of any messiness on your side of the table. um, so
If you're a single older relative, it's like, so what are you doing these days? And you have to just answer that question 5 times. And
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And maybe I will have to lean on someone for some kind of support by means of saying that you're involved in this theater company as well. So it's not obviously just a waste of
Yeah.
time.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah. So then I think the situation is that, it's maybe, my father and your father, and they're just sitting around potentially with other family members, and they just kind of like, so what is this whole play thing? Like, what are you trying to do? And we have to sit there and sort of try to explain it to them in a way that I probably will not work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mads, are you interested in being one of these curmudgeonly parents?
Oh, absolutely.
Dubious parents.
Oh, absolutely. I know what those questions are like. It's disgusting. So, what are you doing now for work? It's like
Yeah.
Charlie here is being very successful. He's high salary working for the university hospital. Very, very prestigious.
And I mean, I am going to awkwardly assume that this question is not for me, even though I know it is, and look for some.
What? That is not a winning strategy.
Not a winning strategy at all.
I mean, I guess if I was thinking of a strategy, that would be one thing. But
Oh no,
I let the moment be a little bit more
yeah,
awkward
yeah,
than
yeah.
it needs to be before. Oh, I'm applying to a lot of places at the moment. I've been updating my profile, sending out a lot of resumes. It's just finding the
Why
right place.
why couldn't you you have your degree is in law, yeah? Shouldn't you just doesn't your doesn't your father have connections to the other law firms? Get in
Well,
as an intern. Just work for some place and they'll notice you.
but I don't want to be. I don't want to be seen as getting an unfair advantage over my peers. I want to
Why
make my own
not?
way, right?
That's a
Self-made, right? Right, Salman. That's the way we roll, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is how it is these days, RT. Like, it's just you kind of have to start at the bottom and make your way up, and everybody does it, and she can do it.
everybody. Nobody does that. I mean, Charlie had somebody that he knew from the university hospital. Got him into an interview. You get an interview.
I think Charlie walks into the room and then walks out, like just
Oh,
realizes on the
absolutely.
call.
He's just like, I'm in the your turn. He's been through this ringer already.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe maybe that's the way to go. Yeah, I'll talk to Charlie and compare notes with people and see what I can
You you
get.
you talk to your father, okay? You get that connection. You get that interview. It starts with an interview. Wear something nice.
I mean, I don't want to put it like this, but you're being a hater right now.
Are you talking to the ant?
Yeah. Cammy's on a journey. Cammy's going places, and sometimes you have to start somewhere. She does have an internship right now. Actually, she does.
Oh.
She does have one. I would say that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You trade on those connections. You connect.
Yeah.
You move up the ladder, right?
That's what ladders are for.
And then she'll take some canapes off of the table and then move on.
That's what ladders are for. Is very
Salman?
good.
Salman, what are you doing? I bet it's like probably a mistake that I'm in this game because I'm remembering all these weird conversations.
Yeah.
Awkward.
I'm you know how it is. I'm hustling. Internet stuff. I don't think you get it. Yeah, just trying to.
Does it make money?
Yeah. I've got a diverse portfolio of investments. I'm just trying to make sure risk is down, and the podcast is doing really well. It's doing really, really well.
Podcast.
Yeah.
It's like a radio show, Auntie. He does a radio show.
Like, is it on the NPR? Yeah. NPR.
It's on the internet, which is like NPR but better. So, yeah, it's like everybody can listen to it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I've got listeners in, last I checked, 23 countries. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Which is a lot of countries, in case that wasn't clear.
That's over 10%, right?
Yeah, exactly. I have no idea how many. I'm just going
right.
Exactly.
No, that's funny. 10%. That's funny.
Every continent except Antarctica. This is a thing. Yeah.
You should hook up to that McMurdo station, right? I'm sure there's like bored scientists there year round who would love to listen to two guys talking.
Is that what it is? It's like two guys talking? Yeah.
Well, he doesn't play music, Auntie. Like, it's serious talk. This is what people are raging about.
I'm sorry. I want to listen to music when I do the dishes. I'm sorry. This is by the way your grandmother's sister, okay? Like, the little doddering aunt that's just like into everybody's biz snatch and just like It's like yeah. So and then she'll be like she'll kind of nod her head, snatch some more canapes, and then move on.
I think then I'd like to turn to Cammy once this grand aunt has bounced out. I'll be like, yeah, but like no replies. Like, that's not.
Some replies in some places I did because they were on the list, and those replies I don't want to get back to. And then, like, this one place, next week I have my 6th interview with them.
Oh, wow.
It's like,
okay,
you're not hiring me to be like a C-suite officer. And they did 2 psychometric tests. That was like 8 hours of my life I will never get back.
Yeah. The thing is, I think when you make it, your time has value, and right now you just you're not able to signal any value. So I mean, I think if I did an interview now, they would have to pay me to do the interview. You know what I mean? Like, this is.
Don't you pay the guests who come on the podcast?
No, No,
No.
because for them, because they're getting something out of it, which is that
Okay.
they get
Do they pay you?
they get my audience.
Do they
No, they
pay
don't have
you
to
for
do
the?
that.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
no,
it's
no.
like a mutual back scratching association.
Yeah, I think 90% of my revenue is now ads, and it's pretty good. Yeah. Um, I mean, if you think about it, like that's what this is, right? They get to come into the podcast, and it's like a big ad for them. So that's for free. I guess I could charge them. I could do that, but I think that might make it complicated.
I think you'd have to really be popping like #1 Spotify podcast to start charging, right?
Yeah, yeah. Again, who knows? Like maybe listeners wouldn't like that. You know, it doesn't feel authentic, right? So, and that stuff matters. That stuff
Hmm.
matters. So, yeah.
I mean, what would the Apple guy do? Right? He would capture the audience,
The
right?
Apple guy.
The
Oh
Apple guy.
wow. Okay. Wow.
Uh,
Okay.
what's his name?
Uh.
Steve
Yeah.
Jobs.
Yeah. No, you know his name. Don't do that. Don't be like the Apple guy. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. What letter does your phone start with? Yeah. Yeah. I know what it is. Okay. Like don't. Yeah. Okay. I was just trying to be nice.
I am. You know, I'm not into tech that much. I couldn't think of his name for a moment.
I think I'm gonna walk out of the room on my phone. um, do
Yeah,
we want
that's
to
a
frame up a scene with Amy?
yeah. Where do we find Ami, Mads?
I think the camera will has switched back to where Charlie went in and then it came right back out again, and and then Ami's waiting for him out with like some of the other relatives as they're putting out more food, and then just kind of hanging around and asking like awkward questions, of course, and then Ami's just kind of like listening. So
Mm.
she knows that she's not under pressure to necessarily answer these questions. Um, and anytime that any of the relatives will ask her, it's like, so what do you do? Then she's just gonna say, it's like, I have a lot of creative concerns, and then kind of just cut them off. And then she just makes a very pointed uh, uh, gesture to go over to Charlie as soon as Charlie comes back into the room, and kind of like hook her arm in his, and just goes, Charlie, it's like, I now I remember why I don't go to family gatherings anymore, because of these conversations. How come you didn't go get Cammy? Whoever wants to play
Uh,
Charlie.
Thomas, do you want to play Charlie or
No, go for it. Go for
okay?
it.
Um, oh, I walked in there, but you know the way in movies when someone says, "I've got a bad feeling about this." So yeah, I turned around and I came back empty-handed. So
I I mean, hopefully she's not being cut down by a chainsaw at the moment.
well, she's being cut down by my granddad. So yeah,
Oh,
she might prefer the chainsaw.
yeah, true. Yeah, yeah, I get it.
So I know you're gonna say I'm a terrible coward. I should have helped my sister out, but she's a big girl now,
Yeah,
and
yeah, true.
she. I think the more of these conversations she has to have, the sooner she'll get out there and get a proper job.
Well,
Or
I mean, Cammy's always been about, trying new things and just, seeing what sticks. And, it's good that she's at least, gonna do the theater stuff for a little bit. I mean, while she's getting her life together and everything. I mean, it's great.
Yeah, she's turning 26. When I was 26, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I'd just been made resident. Um, so yeah, I think getting listen, the number of half-assed ideas and projects she's had over the last 4 years. Yeah, I mean, not like you. I mean, you've got focus. You're doing a thing, and I mean, I wish you could find that, but no.
I mean, I've got a lot of things. I mean, I'm trying to, keep busy and keep creative because if I don't, then I'm just gonna stagnate and not improve. It's all about like just succeeding by improving. I mean, it's one of the things that I've been watching on YouTube and stuff. Because if there's anything, it's all about content and being productive. So yeah, and that's
Yeah, but like that is like perfecting your craft. You find a challenge and you take it on, right? And you
hmm
master that. Whereas I feel like when Cami hits a brick wall, there's like, oh, I'll just go down a different street instead of let's just knock down this brick wall. Uh,
I mean, so she has like a roundabout way of going things. I mean, I think it's great that she's testing the water, seeing what she's good at. I mean,
hey, you're my sister's friend. You're like, um, you're being supportive of her, so that's good. It's good that she
absolutely.
has you.
Um, yeah. I mean, but I'm here for you too. I mean, like um, I was just marveling at the fact that the same conversation or the same questions that I get here are pretty much back at home. So yeah, feel pretty much at home here. I
Hmm.
hope you don't
I,
mind.
I I have a question here right now,
Yeah,
which is that in the way that Charlie has invited Ami to this party, which is his family's family gathering,
yeah, I know
does
what that means too.
Ami invite Charlie to her family gatherings?
um, Now I don't know like how it's taken for this particular family, but I know that in my family, that it's like if you bring somebody to a significant family event, like a Thanksgiving or a birthday party, that means it's like, you're gonna be like affianced pretty soon. So I don't think she's brought him to any family gatherings just yet.
So my follow-on question, which seems obvious, is, oh, but is that what's going on right here,
I
right
don't
now?
know. I feel like, and maybe Ami doesn't really know either.
Well, do we think we see the cogs turning in her brain now? Is like she's like thinking of why she doesn't bring Charlie to her place, and now going, oh, wait a minute. Like, is there going to be a rabbit in headlights moment for Ami right now?
Yeah. It's just like, and
Yeah,
then, and then like,
I
if we're
think
playing it for the
I think
comedy,
we
it's kind
should
of like zoom
I
in.
think we should no, we should play it out.
Okay.
I think Charlie's dad uh should walk in now and be like, so when's it gonna happen?
Oh wait, like with Ami right there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Looking at
okay,
the two
okay.
of you, like drink in hand, just being like, hey, when's it gonna happen? I'm the
What?
cool dad.
What? What happened?
Well, Dad, we really haven't talked about it yet, but I'm serious about this, so I'm just
What?
letting you know.
Hey, Ami,
Oh,
don't
are
wait.
you moving? Are you going
I
to are you trying out for a different job?
No, Ami, just don't wait too long for this guy, okay? This guy's a catch. Just don't wait too long. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, and she turns to
And
Charlie.
and
She
then
just
we'll
goes,
leave. No.
up, and she just turns
Just
to
drop the
Charlie and goes,
grenade and leave.
right, right, right. It's like like that whole slow like turn where the eyes go first and then the head. It's like, and what was your father talking about?
Well, we're in a serious relationship, right? I mean,
Yeah?
so I mean, I don't know what it's like in your family, but when I'm serious about someone, I like to introduce them to the family because,
Oh, oh, oh.
you don't feel the same way.
I, well, I mean, I, I, well, one, I mean, you haven't necessarily like been to a family event at my house. So I'm kind of like, I wasn't sure, and I'm not sure, and I mean, well, you haven't officially asked or anything like that. I mean, if that's where we're going, I mean, like, unless you're asking me, like, is it okay to get a dog? I mean, like, I mean, I know we're living together, but I mean, we're getting
There's
a dog.
no, but like you can't say we're living together in earshot of
Now,
my
see here.
auntie.
Okay, so then, like, then this is a problem, right? We can't be saying anything even about, like, what we're doing now. So how serious can we possibly be? Come on. I mean,
I mean, that's a bit, messed up to my way of thinking, right? Because I mean, we have to like if you're serious about me, then you're gonna have to meet my family, and I'm gonna have to meet yours.
right, but I mean, if you're not even able to tell your family, like, we're living together now,
Well, that's
how
a
serious
different
is this
thing.
truly? No,
That's like
it is
a
not. It is not. My family knows that we're living together. They're not happy about it, but they know we're living together.
okay. So
I
wait a
used to
minute.
tell them that you were sleeping on my couch. Okay? I mean,
Well,
but
I
I
never
told
I
them.
never
I
asked you to
told them.
lie for me.
But you're just telling me to shush now in front of your great auntie. What is
But
going
that's
on?
that's different.
Charlie!
Listen, you just said that your family disapprove of our living arrangement.
But they know.
Well, I would prefer that they didn't know and didn't disapprove.
Well, I can't change the way they think. I mean, that's just what they think. I mean, you know, I mean,
Well, I think that is an agree to disagree thing, right? Uh,
yeah.
but if you're serious about me, why haven't you brought me to your family, even if it's quote unquote different there?
Because I'm not sure how serious you are. That's a big one. Yeah, I think that's a big one.
You're not. Well, you're here, right? What are you saying? You need me to tell my auntie that we're living together before you think I'm serious?
Yeah, so I mean, everybody's on the same page about what they know, and that, like, they know we're serious about, moving on to a next step. I mean, I told you. I mean, like, I was willing to. I mean, like, you had long hours, your residency. I mean, like, sometimes you'd be out like for, you know, 24 hours at a time, like, on call and such. I mean, like, I get it. I totally get it, and that's great. I mean, I just not sure if I can be beholden to someone that I won't see for, you know, a long time out of the week.
Well,
I
that's
I'm just saying. I mean,
unexpected turn of phrase or of events.
it was fun, I mean, like, it was kind of like, well, I don't know. I, do we have to talk about this now? I mean, like, we're here in front of family. I mean, if you really don't
Oh,
want them to
oh,
know
so
that
you
we're
don't think it's an appropriate venue to share certain things about our relationship? Oh, that's interesting.
you are the one that said that you have not told your family, your great nan, that you are living with me, that we are living together. So, Who's talking about, like, what's appropriate to say in front of family now? Are we really having this argument?
Well,
Oh, no. You, like, okay, fine. Can I go? Well, no, I'm not even gonna ask for permission. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. And then she starts to march, like, over to the room where your great nan is to say stuff.
You have to do it. There's no way Charlie can stop. This has to happen.
Okay.
I mean, Charlie is his lungs are explosively decompressing right now with that exhaled breath, and he is like, I don't know, jokingly saying something about the balcony to himself.
Maybe
I
this
could
is
just
more
jump
Arrested
now and put myself out of my misery.
Maybe this is more Arrested Development than Succession, but I mean, like, yeah, I mean, like, Amihan will walk over to the great nan that's in the room, like, grabbing more canapes and feeding her face, and she'll just go, Nana, just so you know, me and Charlie are living together. I don't know if somebody else wants to play the Nana.
No, I think that's a good place to cut.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. That is the end of the episode.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
we don't even see a reaction shot. We just see her telling Nana with her hands on her hips. It's like, me and Charlie are living together.
I mean, I imagine, like, the screen goes black and there's like silence for a moment, and then we just hear kind of murmurings and glass tinkling, and then credits.
Yeah.
Credits. Yeah. I love it. Oh my gosh.
And if we're doing the joke, I think, like, we hear somebody, maybe it's Salman going like, what a tragedy.
Yes! We have to do the bit. Absolutely. Love it.
Okay. So let's cut there. I'm going to stop the recording. We'll do our debrief and then see you next week.